So I was browsing Google News the other day and I stumbled upon this tech article that kind of got me wondering. It was an article on CNN Business talking about how the European Union wants every smart device, like smartphones, tablets, and e-readers, to use the same charging mechanism. And as I started to read more and more, it really got me wondering, what would life be like if every smart device used the same exact charger? So here's what we know now. The European Union recently passed a resolution asking their executive branch to urgently force tech companies to adopt one single type of charger. Now, this universal charger would be applicable to all tech brands across all different types of smart devices, including smartphones, tablets, laptops, and even e-readers. Now, on top of this, they want to push lawmakers to also create new ways to recycle old chargers and cables, and also ensure that customers who purchase a new device don't have to go out and buy a new charger. Now, the logic behind this makes a lot of sense, but trying to explain it can be a little tricky, so bear with me while I do my best to try and explain the rationale here. So the idea is that with all these types of devices out there that use all different types of charging mechanisms, it creates a lot of electronic waste. Essentially, a whole bunch of different types of devices and cables that could at any moment become outdated. Let's say if a tech manufacturer makes a new product that all of a sudden uses its own new charging mechanism. So these devices end up in drawers, end up in trash cans, along with their charging cables, which leads to a lot of electronic waste. So the idea is, in order to eliminate all this electronic waste, let's just create one universal charging solution that the entire world can use. And because of this, you never really have to recycle your old charger unless it breaks or it tears. And in terms of your old device, you can give that back to the manufacturer and explore their potential recycling opportunities instead. And it's kind of interesting whenever you think about it. There was a small period in time where we kind of had this big mess whenever it came to all types of new technology coming out and what types of chargers you had. I remember a point in time where some phones would come out and it would still use a micro USB charger. Other phones would come out and they would be like, let's say a new Nexus phone, and it would have USB-C, but that was super new, so no other manufacturer was really using USB-C yet. Obviously, the iPhone has been on Lightning for 7 or 8 years now. So there was a point in time where we had all these different types of chargers for all these different types of devices. Recently, over the last 3 or 4 years, I would say almost every single major Android manufacturer in terms of their flagship devices have now switched over to USB Type-C charging, which is good. A lot of big tablets or major tablets like the iPad Pro have also switched over to USB Type-C charging. And even a lot of popular laptop devices like the newer Surface line and the MacBook Pro line also charge with USB Type-C. But there is still one super popular mobile device that sells in massive numbers that does not use USB Type-C, and that's Apple's iPhone. Now, I kind of find this interesting as well because a few years back, when Apple introduced the iPhone X, just a month after they brought out the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, I felt like they missed a big opportunity to jump on board with the whole USB Type-C charging mechanism. You had your iPhone 8, which was like your standard refresh of the iPhone 7. It was something that people were comfortable with, right? Then you had your iPhone X. It was all new design, stainless steel build, 100% display outside of the notch. You had Face ID, which killed Touch ID. You had a whole bunch of new things that came to the iPhone. That, in my opinion, would have been the perfect time to get some of your consumers into the USB Type-C realm for your smartphone, while still giving your other customers that don't want to switch so rapidly that comfortable option. Then the next year when you come out with the XS and XR, make them both USB Type-C. And now this year, when you have the 11 and you have the 11 Pro, you have a much more comfortable customer base in terms of being ready to accept USB Type-C as their new charging mechanism. And Apple knows their devices, especially their iPhones, sell in large numbers around the world, especially in Europe where all this is going down. So Apple's point of view is, hey, if you force us to use one type of charger across all of our devices, you are essentially stifling innovation. Now, their other point of view is that if you are going to force us to make that rapid switch over to whatever the universal charger is going to be so quickly, you are going to generate a lot more electronic waste in that moment because you have now made so many other devices obsolete. Or if our customers want to upgrade to our new devices that use that new proprietary charging standard, all of their other charging cables that they've accumulated over the years are now obsolete. So how much electronic waste are you creating in the moment by forcing us to do this versus the hope that these technology companies will continue this gradual change over to what's looking like USB Type-C as the charging standard. So I'm not surprised that Apple is upset about this, but I also understand a little bit of their points. So now the question is, and really the whole point of us making this video is, how do you feel about this, right? Like, I understand giant tech companies, or mainly Apple right now in this moment, have come out and commented about this, but we really wanted to make this video to kind of gauge your interest on this particular topic. Me personally, I kind of already mentioned how I feel about it. I feel like Apple should have switched over to USB-C on the iPhone X, and they may not be in this situation a couple years later. But I also understand what Apple means whenever they say you will stifle innovation. Let's say Apple or Microsoft or Google, some big company out there comes up with the next best charging solution that's better than Lightning, that's better than USB Type-C, that's better than micro USB, that's better than all of them. If by law they have to only include one particular type of charger on their device, then yes, in that respect, you are stifling innovation. So I do see that point there, but at the same time, I really wouldn't be too mad if Apple switched over to USB-C on their iPhone because, hey, so many other devices have been using USB Type-C, including Apple's own MacBooks and iPads, that I'm ready. I have plenty of USB Type-C chargers already. But really, I want to know how you guys feel. So let me know what you guys think about this particular issue in the comment section down below. And also let me know how you guys feel about this particular style of video. We really wanted to take this as more of like a casual approach and talk about something that's not necessarily new device related, not necessarily an unboxing. We really want to try and connect with you guys more through this type of video. So if you enjoyed it, also let us know down below. And like I said, talk to us about how you feel about this particular issue because I think it's interesting. I sometimes wonder what the world would be like if every single one of our smart devices used the same type of charger. I think it would be pretty crazy. But don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. The idea behind this law is, wow, I don't even know where I was gonna go. It's tough to explain, man.